All right, welcome to another episode of the Jones Underground YouTube. This video, we just did a review on the MX. I want to give a testimonial or a story time. So we had a youth revival this week, and the youth were doing their thing, man. We were really getting it in. I had another group of musicians that was playing with us, and they were awesome. Um, I'm terrible because I know one followed me from Instagram, and I did not get his. I should link his information in somewhere, but get his permission first. But the kids did an awesome job, and we got to the end of the service where they were, asking people, where, they opened the doors of the church up, like, hey man, you want to change your life? Give your life over to Jesus, and like 12 kids, 12 young people, in their 20s, teens, they got baptized that night, and we're not including the ones that, decided to come back to church and get baptized the next Sunday. And a lot of times especially when you're doing the youth service and, when you're thumping, you like, you doing that, or you just thumping. You trying to thump, trying to be good. And the thing is, at some point, as a musician, you learn a very important lesson. It's not about you thumping keys and doing all it's not about you really flexing on the keys or some drummer putting the whole, hurting everybody's ears with the no. It's about the atmosphere you set. When we had three kids preaching. One of them, it was his first sermon. Two others, well, two, I didn't hear one of them speak before either. And these were all kids, and it takes kids to reach kids. That's step one. But then the other thing is, as a musician, you're setting the atmosphere, you know, for people to make a decision for Christ. And a lot of the time, sometimes it's not about it's just about just, just, just being simple. Why they just getting their mind together? Just doing what you can and just being simple. You're just setting the atmosphere. You don't have to, say it's my time. I'm finna shine. You don't have to be live on Instagram showing people who really running around here. What's important is not about you flexing on the gram and everything else as a music. What's important is people turning their life over. Giving their life over to God. That's We could sit here and we could talk about, yeah, I was in two rehearsals on Thursday nights. I was working with these kids on Sunday after service, and then I came in again Saturday for the Sunday rehearsal, and this was after being at church to 11 o'clock at night almost the night before, and that's a lot of work as a musician. And of course, we got a podcast episode dropping on that, and we'll do a YouTube one too. But a lot of that is us learning how to get out the way. And we put a lot of work in. We learn a lot of music. We're spending hours a week practicing the music. And so sometimes you can't think it's about you when it's not. And I know I went live on Facebook kind of with the same point, but I just want to make sure that, whoever hears my voice, whoever watches the channel, whoever knows, especially us musicians, because we be watching lives and comparing each other like, oh, this dude's chords and his changes sound better than mine. I need to get where he at. But sometimes it's when we get to doing all that rehearsing, when we get to doing all that practicing, when we get through doing all the stuff to try to be great, we need to take a back seat to what's really going on, and that's God moving. You know, not us moving. we us doing chords. No, God is moving, and He's moving people into heaven, moving people into grace, moving people out of turmoil, you know, and just because you go in the water, yeah, we know it's gonna be an even bigger struggle. It's the beginning of pains, and it's the beginning of a walk to get closer to God. Because the moment you come out the water, the enemy's gonna try to get you away from that. He's gonna try to take you away from that decision that led you to trying to choose God. And it is a everyday walk, and it's gonna be a fight to the finish. But the thing is, the peace that you have and the effort that you spend trying to live better, trying to please God with your life and the decisions you're making, you know, it in itself, you know, and the love that, you know, living in the love that God has for you, it does help, you know, especially when you got financial struggles, emotional struggles, mental health issues, and all that stuff. And a lot of us musicians, some of us are so focused on making sure our playing is good, we forget that we're here to actually, you know, be in the moment worshiping too. And sometimes you just get caught in that situation, just in that worship. And if you lay back, you just you may feel it. You know, you get. If you just lay back and just let God do His thing, you know, stop trying to flex, stop trying to get you trying to get that whole Lydian scale off. No, lay back, just be simple. Let God, you know, I've seen some people go to the next level, just letting God use them, you know, not trying to look down and, you know, do something, not trying to, you know, show something that Michael Burrell don't have or something. Just letting God use you. I've seen people just sound the best when they just close them. They open their mind, their heart. They close. They stop doing this and start using this to play. You know, let God use you. And it's hard, man. I've seen singers that, you know, these people couldn't sing, but when they let God do this, you know, people that couldn't sing had a whole church on fire. You know, and yeah, it's not them setting the church on fire, it's God using them. You know, and that's what God is doing with us. Let God use you as a musician. Let God use you as a minister. Let God use you in whatever you're doing, if I'm in the usher board or something. Let God use you. You know, because in the end of the day, your positions and how much you get paid and if you're being supported or not, all this stuff don't matter. What matters is people choosing Jesus. You know, and I hope this helps someone. I hope this really gets down in somebody's spirit. I hope it really turns somebody around, you know, because it's a lot of musicians going live, a lot of phones being brought out, you know, seeing people trying to sing solos, but the musician playing 50 notes over. Oh, you know, let God use you. You know, let God just be easy and let God use you. Well, thank you for listening. Have a good night, and we'll see you again next time.